Hello, everybody. Welcome to Oxford News This Week. I'm Terry Stiles with my favorite co-host, Jim Hughes.
And my favorite co-host, Terry
Other
Stiles.
co-host.
Host, Terry Stiles.
And in this week's news, the school board surveying to stop bullying, pre-made pottery painting pop-ups in Oxford, and another OAA White League championship in the books. All that and more. The Oxford News begins right now. Because bullying seems to be on the rise nationally, Oxford School Assistant Superintendent of Teaching and Learning, Anita, I think it's Kanja Collins, and if I said that wrong, I'm really sorry, presented the school board updates on a bullying prevention survey sent out to students, which was developed by the National Educators. She said the survey will help determine whether that's the case in Oxford too. Working from national statistics, educators developed a new survey, and according to the assistant, the new questions for secondary level students expand on sexual orientation and gender identity, which the CDC has determined that students who are a sexual or gender minority are more likely to be bullied. So far, 29 students have opted out of the survey entirely. The survey aims to identify trends and create targeted intervention strategies based on the data, plus raising awareness and building empathy. Jim?
The Michigan Court of Appeals has denied the Oxford High School shooter his request for an appeal to his case. He is currently serving a life without parole, the sentence after pleading guilty to numerous felony charges, and he wanted to withdraw that very plea. His lawyers look to start over because they claim the shooter had poor mental health when he pleaded guilty. The defense argued that the trial had several errors and alleges the trial counsel failed to investigate some of the potential evidence. The court cited a lack of merit in the grounds presented and rejected another request to have the case sent back down to a lower court for further review. Terry.
And there's a brand new ride right inside the Oxford High School. Lake Orion's Skelneck Ford recently donated a 2024 Ford F-150 to the high school's automotive technology program. Skelneck Ford also awarded $2,500 scholarships to 2 graduating Wildcats. The truck will give students opportunities to gain hands-on learning experience with most updated technology. Oxford High School automotive technician teacher John Howell says working with newer vehicles will help the students be most prepared when they get out into the workforce. Skelneck Ford General Manager Ryan Skelneck was there to present the truck and award seniors Dylan Horning and Cameron McCarthy with the first ever Skelneck Family Automotive Scholarships. The scholarships help to support seniors who will pursue careers as automotive industry technicians. Automotive technology is one of Oxford School's 10 career and technical education programs. What a cool thing for Skelneck to do. Jim?
Well, my very first new vehicle at Skelneck.
Oh.
Gil Oatley was my salesman. There is a brand new pottery place. I know you were asking in the downtown Oxford area. Maybe do channel that inner art person within. Set to open in July. Meet Whimsy Art Studio. It's a space for inner artists to shine, the pottery painting and wheel throwing artist workshops, and so much more. The studio hopes to provide something for everyone looking for a little more whimsy in their lives. Yes, we all could use that, right? Pre-made pottery pieces include figurines, flower pots, piggy banks, night lights, bowls, platters, and more. Whimsy will kiln fire these pieces the artist will take home. Clay classes run a 6-week series for artists of any level. Experienced visitors can even rent the clay studio for self-guided time to work. Whimsy Studio space also includes a party room there to accommodate up to 20 guests. The schedule will be available online. You can book starting in July, welcoming the White House District Whimsy Art Studio. Congratulations on your new endeavors.
Sounds like a lot of fun. 32 Oakland County communities will be hit with an unexpected cost increase this summer, already into your budget, including the Oxford Township. The Oakland County Commission approved an increase in the price of county assessment services, which are used to calculate property taxes. The assessment rates will rise over a 3-year period, and by 2028, it should be done. That affected cities and townships. They could possibly pay more than double current rates. Oxford paid just under $18 to assess each of its nearly 9,000 totaling 9,000 homes or acres, I guess, totaling $160,000. Due to the new standardized rate, Oxford will be paying 230% more by 2028. That's an additional $200,000 that needs to be found somewhere in the budget. Oxford Township Treasurer Joe Ferrari was among the local officials who asked the commission to make that transition a slower one. In an interview with the Oakland Press, Ferrari said it's going to be difficult to come up with the money. Currently, Oxford Township doesn't charge residents the 1% allowed by the state for those assessment costs, but Ferrari says it may be an option for the township in the future to make up the increased rates. He also said that he would like to check independent assessment sources as well. Jim?
In a true act of bipartisanship, Michigan Executive Office of the Governor of Michigan, the Selfridge Air National Guard base will continue on. It has secured a new fighter mission, serving the base and the state from losing military talent and actual jobs. After 6 years of advocacy from the governor, Gretchen Whitmer, and with work with both President Biden and President Trump, Michigan has secured about 20 F-15EX Eagle II fighter jets, the Air Force's newest fighter aircraft for a new fighter mission. Without that new mission, at Selfridge was at risk of losing the A-10 fighter squadron, or around $30 million in wages. Now the base will continue, contributing to an estimated $850 million to Michigan's economy, supporting 30,000 jobs statewide. And the press release right from the governor's office, Gretchen Whitmer, called the effort a huge bipartisan win and will cement Michigan and leadership in the national security and the defense industry for decades to come. According to the Department of Defense, the new jets will begin arriving as early as 2028. Terry.
And behind the lens, 28 different youths from Oxford, Addison, and Leonard were recently honored for their selfless acts. During the annual Oxford Addison Youth Assistance Award ceremony, students were recognized for volunteering their time to help others in everything from being mentors in the 42 Strong Mentorship program to befriending a kindergartner with on the autism spectrum. Oxford Addison Youth Assistance is a nonprofit that is committed to strengthening families and meeting needs through the community involvement. There were 44 students in the total who won the awards, with 28 attending ceremonies at Oxford Middle School. The honorees received a certificate of recognition, a drawstring bag filled with gifts, and had a chance to fist bump or high-five community leaders from first responders to government officials. Congratulations, kids. Way to make the community a better place. I love that
yeah, always love them good
Yep.
feel-good stories.
Yep.
Good stuff there.
It's fun to see that the youths in Oxford are doing productive stuff.
Exactly. Good stuff. Anything you want to add to what's going on with you? How are you doing?
Well, I'm reading a couple different books right now.
Okay. Tell us about those.
I always say I'm reading, but I'm listening to them in the car when I'm getting ready for work. One is a fun book called, it's about a pet psychic, which is really fun. And the other one is, it's a heavy duty one. It's called Mindfulness. And I think we can all use some of that.
Maybe I should pick that book up myself, right?
Well, it's a tough read.
No, a tough listen.
It's hard. It's a tough listen. It's hard to try to reprogram yourself.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, it's a good challenge.
Why not?
Why not?
Keep it going.
Spring to everybody. Too.
And that was, like I said, you can probably head down to the library. And I know I saw a piece this past week, because you know I watched the channel. We were down there at the library. So many opportunities down at that Oxford Library
really
down there, and maybe picking up a book on tape or something like that.
They're always doing a lot.
Coming up, we know Dave Kenny's got some things to talk about, and you'll want to stay tuned. In our last story today, a young Girl Scout earned something very, very important. That'll be our last story. Terry Stiles will have that. We will be back in just a moment. I'll have sports shortly, and then we'll be back in a little while to close the news out. You're watching Oxford News This Week.
Don't go away.
We all have a type.
Maybe you know what your type is.
Maybe you don't.
But you have one. Am I your type?
You can be the type to save lives.
Welcome to this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and this story is taken from Automotive News. Lexus has pulled the wraps on a radically restyled 8th generation ES sedan that kicks off a new brand design language meant to better evoke the addition of a battery electric drivetrain option. A zigzag slash cuts down the side of the reimagined four-door, which is the Japanese premium marque's best-selling car in the U.S. The 2026 ES gets a filled-in shield grille that moves the air intakes to the bottom, oozing attitude that is both aggressive and techy. Lexus showed the overhauled ES at the Shanghai Auto Show, saying the edgy styling draws from the futuristic next-generation LFZC concept shown at the 2023 Japan Mobility Show. The 2026 ES will go on sale next year, Lexus said. For the first time, the ES offered an all-electric drivetrain in addition to a gasoline-electric hybrid. The new ES lineup will come in both front-wheel and all-wheel drive variants. Toyota Motor Corporation is diversifying powertrain options as it dives deeper into electrification and prepares to launch a new generation of Lexus EVs on a re-engineered dedicated platform. Global design boss Simon Humphrey said last year that Lexus' new design language would stretch the limits. He promised it should challenge people to question, is that too far? Another new element is the Twin L signature lamp, which juxtaposes back-to-back two of the brand's traditional checkmark-shaped daytime running lamps for a lightning bolt look. A new rear embeds the Lexus logo into a horizontal light bar and adds new bracket-like L-shaped lamps. The silhouette keeps a fastback profile with a low planted stance. Engineers achieved more cabin space by stretching the overall length by 6.5 inches and the wheelbase by 3. For the first time in North America, the ES gets an executive package with reclining rear seats, rear massaging seats, and rear seat heating and ventilation. Toyota has been producing the Lexus ES at its Kentucky Assembly Plant Complex, one of the automaker's largest global factories. But production was expected to be phased out with the current model change and continue in Japan at its Toyota Motor Kyushu plant in Fukuoka. It's an open question how that plan might change under the Trump administration's new tariffs, however. The all-electric ES is the second of 3 Lexus EV models scheduled to debut by March of 2026. It also previews a sweeping brand rework expected to debut at the Japan Mobility Show in October. The ES will be built on the redesigned TNGA GA-K platform that accommodates both hybrid and all-electric powertrains. The architecture's rigidity has been increased to reduce noise and vibration, improve handling, and sharpen steering response. For the first time, the ES also adopts a multi-link rear suspension for better power delivery to the ground. The ES350H gets the 6th generation 2.5-liter hybrid system with an integrated e-axle that combines the power control unit and transaxle into a lighter, more compact package. The hybrid system also achieves higher battery output. The ES will offer two EV models, the ES350e front-wheel drive option and the ES500e all-wheel drive. The front-wheel drive ES350e has a Lexus estimated range of 300 miles, the company said. The ES500e is equipped with Direct4, an intelligent all-wheel drive system that continuously adjusts torque distribution to all four wheels based on road conditions and driving inputs. Lexus says the technology can shift the front rear drive force ratio from 100 to 0 to 0 to 100 to boost acceleration from a standstill and improve handling and stability. The update will also be the first Lexus to get the brand's latest suite of safety technology, Lexus Safety System 4.0. It features improved hardware and detection capabilities. The improvements just keep on coming. Well, that's it for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television.
My son Ian was diagnosed with a brain tumor at the age of 16 months. The outlook was pretty rough. We had no hope until St. Jude rescued us. I mean, they saved him. But then it turned out he had a second cancer. To this date, we are 12 years into this journey, and from day one, we've never once seen a bill. It gave us the peace of mind to know that we're there with our son, and we're gonna beat cancer together. Now, he is doing really, really well. He's alive because of what St. Jude has done. He's here because of the doctors who came before, their blood, their sweat, their tears, of every day being in that hospital, the knowledge that has been accumulated and shared with everyone else around the world. This is how we get rid of this, how we help kids beat cancer all over. It's the future.
Welcome back to Oxford News this week. And yes, sports, another OAA White League Championship in the books with a win against Royal Oak and their 8th win in a row. The Oxford boys lacrosse team is the 2025 OAA White League champion. Congratulations. The team finished a perfect 6-0 in the league play with the program first title since back in 2019. The boys team sent the game home at 10-6 with a win. They are now 10-4 overall. Once again, congratulating that lacrosse team here in Oxford. Another congratulations being sent out to the outstanding athletes this year. Seniors Mallory Bigelow and Luke Johnson are the this year's Athletes of the Year. Oxford Boosters Trophy winners. The trophies were awarded to the most outstanding senior female and senior male athlete as voted by all the varsity head coaches and the class of 2025 seniors by their very own peers. Bigelow earned the Helen Smith Outstanding Female Senior Athletic Trophy with an impressive 8 varsity letters in her athletic career, 4 each in both cross country, track and field. She is a 4-time All-State cross-country runner and a multiple-time state qualifier for the state finals in track. She was a regional track champion last year. Bigelow will be attending Lipscomb University to continue her cross-country career. Johnson earned 11 varsity letters in his career across football, wrestling, track and field. He is also a 3-time All-State wrestler, finishing both 2nd and 3rd in the state. He is also an all-region, all-state football player with many other accomplishments attached to it. He will be attending Wayne State University to continue his football endeavors. Congratulations to that Wildcat himself. Happy graduation to everybody, and again, all the athletes that have participated this year. You've made Oxford very proud in whatever sport you do. We also want to send a winning salute out to the bands and all the student activities involved within the Oxford community. That's going to wrap it up in sports. I know Dave Kenny's got something else to talk about. Terry Stiles and I'll be back to close the news out. You're going to want to hear the last story today, a young Girl Scout earning something that doesn't just go around all the time. That'll be back at the end of this newscast right here on Oxford News This Week.
We all have a type.
Maybe you know what your type is,
Maybe you don't.
but you have one.
Am I your type?
You can be the type to save lives.
Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and this story is taken from New Scientist. Chocolate may contain a chemical with anti-aging properties, but don't start stuffing your face yet. The chemical is found mainly in dark chocolate, and it remains to be seen whether eating chocolate is good for you overall. There are lots of things in dark chocolate, and there are pros and cons to everything, says Rami Saad at University College in London. The chemical in question, theobromine, is probably best known for being deadly to dogs. But it has also been shown to extend the lifespan of one strain of a simple worm, and there is some evidence of health benefits in people. To learn more about these potential benefits, Saad and his colleagues analyzed data on 500 women from a study called Twins UK. This measured levels of a number of components in blood, including theobromine. It also looked at epigenetic changes, the presence or absence of chemical tags on DNA that alter the activity of genes in blood cells. Some of these changes are associated with aging and can be used to estimate whether a person's biological age is higher or lower than their chronological age. We found a link between levels of theobromine in blood and epigenetic estimates of your biological age, says team member Jordana Bell at King's College London. People with higher theobromine levels were more likely to have a biological age that was lower than their chronological age. The team then analyzed similar data from 1,160 individuals from a study in Germany called CORA and found the same association. One strength of the latest study is that it uses direct measurements of theobromine in the blood rather than, say, people's reports of how much chocolate they ate. But this means the team cannot be sure of the source of the theobromine. Theobromine can be formed by the breakdown of caffeine, although this produces only tiny quantities of the chemical. The main source of theobromine in the diet is cocoa solids, says Saad. Dark chocolate is high in cocoa solids, milk chocolate has lower levels, and white chocolate has none. I would not expect one derives much theobromine from a Milky Bar, says Saad. Bell and Saad both stress that their findings shouldn't be taken to mean that eating more dark chocolate will make you live longer. It could be that the negative effects of other components such as sugar outweigh any beneficial effects. Further studies will be needed to confirm the results, but the team doesn't have the funding needed to do them all, said Bell. It certainly reinforces my commitment to eating dark chocolate, but I opt for the keto version that contains no sugar, says Steve Horvath at the University of California in Los Angeles, who developed the epigenetic measure of aging used by the team. However, Michael Wink at Heidelberg University in Germany, who did the study in worms, said there are some shortcomings. One is that chocolate contains many chemicals called polyphenols that might amplify the effect of the theobromine. I don't think our research can untangle whether it's the theobromine alone or whether it's the theobromine interacting with something else, Saad acknowledges. But chocoholics have hope. Well, that's it for this edition of Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny.
What is dementia? Is it the same as Alzheimer's? What is vascular dementia, Lewy body, FTD, TBI, and CTE? If someone has memory loss, does that mean they have dementia? Millions of Americans ask these questions every day. I did too, and I learned. My wife Ginny developed dementia. I didn't know what to do or what was coming next. I'm Kevin Jameson, volunteer and president of the Dementia Society of America. I'm excited to offer you a free guide to understanding dementia. It's filled with facts about dementia, care planning, how doctors can help, and ways to keep your brain as healthy as possible. The Dementia Society of America is a national nonprofit, and we're ready to answer your questions. You want to live life to the fullest. I know that. Ginny did too, and I'm confident that we can help. Get your copy of the guide. Go to 1-800-DEMENTIA.org or call 1-800-DEMENTIA. Thank you.
In our last story this week, Good to Grow. The Oxford High School senior Daphne Palmer recently earned her Girl Scout Gold Award by designing and implementing a seed library. The library is located at the Brandon Township Public Library and serves a free source for the community. Palmer has been a Girl Scout for 13 years and has collected donations from the community members and local greenhouse and garden stores to give Brandon Township Library patrons free access to up to 10 seed packets. Patrons are encouraged to return some harvested seeds each year, like borrowing a normal library book, to help keep the seeds stocked. As the highest achievement in Girl Scouts, the only 5% of eligible Girl Scouts earn the award. Palmer has contributed more than 170 hours of community service through the Girl Scouts and even more volunteer work through National Honor Society and her church youth group. Wow, what a girl. Congratulations, Daphne.
And more
That's
good
pretty
stuff there with the
incredible.
students, and congratulations on that gold award with the Girl Scouts. You got to
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Wow.
Yeah, good stuff.
I was just reading this week that there is a storage safe, a seed storage safe above the North Pole for every seed that has been planted.
I heard about that too.
It's pretty incredible. I never realized, yeah, we should probably, just in case something catastrophic happens, hang on to our seeds.
Hang on to those seeds so you
hanging
can keep
on
planting.
to my tomato plant seeds from last year.
Well, I'm telling you, people are getting surprised with the weather around here. They're planting stuff, and then the next night we're having some frost. So hopefully spring's going to break loose. I know I saw signs coming into the studio today that sooner or later, I believe the market opens up over there, where the food market or something.
Farmers market is coming up June 1st or
Is that when it is?
something close, pretty close. And Mother's Day is
Well,
it's
we had
supposed to
Mother's
be
Day.
the day that you plant all that your
Yeah.
stuff, but this year, I don't know, we'll see
See how it goes.
what comes out of those frosts that we just had.
You never know, you know.
never know.
Save your seeds. OCTV actually can be viewed on Spectrum Charter Channel 191, Channel 99 on the AT&T Uverse system. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, the Amazon Fire TV Stick, and Roku, the app as well. As if you actually have a show idea, maybe you want to plant a seed of your own, make sure to call us and you could be a volunteer. We do need volunteers. OCTV can be reached at our office number, real easy, 248-628-9658. Special thank you going out to our producer and director, Mr. Kyle Snage, news writer extraordinaire. Oh, yes, she does it well at school. Allison Miller, and our own station manager, busy out saving seeds every day, Gary Stiles. For everyone here at OCTV, I hung on to it and we kept it going. I'm Jim Hughes, hoping you have a safe week. I invite you back next time. And again, both Terry and I, along with you, will take a look at Oxford News this week.